Hey guys, Sean here. So I was informed that there's very, very little information on the elemental realm, elemental beings available. So I wanted to make sure I added my understanding and my experience and perspective. I don't have all the answers about certain things, of course not. Who does, right? But I do have some understanding and some familiarity with the elemental realm. So I'd like to share what I've come to understand. And I openly acknowledge that this information isn't likely to be completely 100% correct across the board. Sean's just saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I'm being honest and open to. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, as I always am with you guys. So um, the reason I can't say for certainty that all the information is correct is because this is damn hard to verify. But if I was a betting man, I would bet you the majority of what I'm about to share is accurate. Okay. So I kind of wrote down some things and I'll reference. Okay, so this is what I've come to understand. All right, so first of all, there are things that go bump in the night. This is true. There are things that go bump in the night. But people also make up stories. People fabricate things and falsely report what they've seen. Besides the exaggeration and lies and storytelling, there are still plenty of real things that go bump in the night. Okay? People often misinterpret or misperceive what they're seeing. People indeed have real experiences with beings from, shall I say, other places, like the elemental realm. Okay. Let me list some of the labels given to certain beings that people have experienced encountering. Just because there's a label with a definition, ghost, alien, it doesn't mean that that's what that is or that's what that person saw. But these are labels given to some of the things people have experienced. All right. Ghosts and aliens and demons, biblical figures, fairies, gnomes, leprechauns, poltergeists. Now, a lot of people have already shut off the video. He's talking about gnomes and fairies and trying to tell us it's real. Yes. Yes, I am. Poltergeist, Djinn, Bigfoot, mermaids, and many other examples. So, these are labels based on a spoken language, and these beings may or may not be what we think. All right, so, and when people see these things or report on these things, sometimes it's real, sometimes it's a lie, and sometimes they're just confused. Okay. So, some of these beings, most, quite frankly, are very elusive, and I'm reading my own notes, and this is coming from within. So, some are very elusive and almost never seen. Yet they're in our collective awareness, our consciousness. So, like, everyone knows what a freaking a fairy or a mermaid or a unicorn looks like, but yet no one ever sees them. So this is likely due to the vast amount of time that humans have encountered these types of beings over the centuries and millennia. Some of the classic elemental beings that like fit the mold, so to speak, is going to be your fairies, gnomes, leprechauns, nature spirits, nature beings. These are beings connected to nature. They exist in a slightly lighter density than we live in, so you might call it a slightly different dimension. They're our next door neighbors, if you will, and because they are generally and because of this, they're generally invisible. Long ago, we shared space with these beings and experiences with these beings, and then we had what some people call the fall of man. Our DNA got jacked. We got screwed over big time. Look into what it was like in the early days of Atlantis and Lemuria. That's just recent history. So for nowadays, if a human and an elemental being want to encounter one another, generally the elemental being is going to lower their vibration so that we can see them. Or perhaps our vibration is high enough where we start to see them. So you need to have like one way to put it is you need to have a whole bunch of love to be in the vibrational readiness state to see these beings, or for them to feel comfortable enough to reveal themselves to you. Generally, after the fall of man, they basically they're in a higher vibration than we are, and we're kind of dangerous to them. We're almost there, where we're almost at the point where we're a peaceful enough collective of beings where we're not going to be a danger to them. Even though if you watch the news, you might believe that we're not anywhere close to world peace. You're being lied to. World peace is coming, and it's coming soon. Fairies tend to like flowers, plants, berries, and pretty things. And if you want to try attracting a fairy, get a plant, meditate, close your eyes, focus, and explain. I want a fairy, and that's for them. This plant is for them, and then give them a gift, like a berry or something pretty, a flower, something nice with next to the plant. You might attract a fairy. And then I met someone who's my friend's friend. So me and my friend we're hanging out with somebody, and my friend's friend, who I don't know that well, so I don't know, maybe he was full of it, but he was adamant he saw a leprechaun. So adamant. I don't know. Maybe he's making it up. And I saw this weird green leaf-looking creature a while ago. I have a video on that. It was just, I was looking out my bedroom window a long time ago, and I saw this something the size of a squirrel, but it looked like it was made of leaves, and it like ran away real fast, and I blocked it out of I just like forgot about it. I just like filtered it out, and then like a year later I remembered it, and I was like, what? And I have a video somewhere on my channel where I talked about that. All right, elemental realm. The Djinn is a whole other story. And I know more about the Djinn than the other beings. So we'll get into the Djinn. I have several videos on the Djinn, but we'll get into it again in the future. All right, guys, be good.